The human mind is a complex terrain, often besieged by a whirlwind of thoughts that can trigger states of anxiety and tension. For many people, maintaining calm under pressure seems like an arduous, almost unattainable task. This book has been meticulously crafted to serve as a practical and scientifically grounded guide, offering tools based on cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, to help individuals navigate these turbulent waters with greater tranquility and confidence. CBT, a widely recognized therapeutic approach, focuses on the interconnectedness of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Understanding and modifying this triad can be the key to transforming automatic stress reactions into calmer, more balanced responses. The beauty of CBT lies in its practical applicability. It's not just about theory, but about techniques that can be implemented in daily life, fostering significant changes in how we face challenges. In this book, the reader will find a variety of strategies ranging from identifying negative automatic thoughts to replacing these thoughts with more rational and healthy alternatives. Each chapter is designed to provide a deep understanding while offering practical exercises that facilitate the internalization and application of learned concepts. The goal is to equip the reader with skills that can be used in any situation, from the trivial to the highly stressful, transforming the way stress is handled in a lasting way. Who should read this material? This book is aimed at a wide range of readers, each with their own battles against stress and anxiety, seeking practical and evidence-based solutions to maintain serenity in challenging moments. Professionals from all fields, pressured by deadlines and increasing responsibilities, will find methods here to enhance resilience and improve performance under pressure. Students, often overwhelmed by academic demands and future uncertainties, will have access to techniques that will help them face exams, assignments, and expectations with a more balanced and confident mindset. Parents, whose task of raising children comes with constant worries and daily challenges, will discover strategies to handle stressful situations more calmly and effectively, contributing to a more harmonious family environment. Additionally, any individual who struggles to remain calm in the face of unexpected events or daily demands will find a powerful ally in this book. Through an approach grounded in cognitive behavioral therapy, each reader will be guided to better understand the roots of their stress, learning to identify and modify thought patterns that contribute to anxiety. The techniques presented are versatile and adaptable, making them useful not only for moments of crisis but also for building a solid foundation of long-term emotional well-being. This material is not just a theoretical manual, but a compendium of practical tools that can be integrated into anyone's daily routine. The strategies discussed are supported by extensive scientific research, proving their effectiveness in reducing stress and promoting a more positive and resilient mindset. Overview of CBT. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is a widely recognized and scientifically validated psychotherapeutic approach that aims to help individuals identify and transform dysfunctional patterns of thinking and behavior. Based on the premise that our thoughts directly influence our emotions and actions, CBT proposes that by restructuring negative cognitions, we can significantly alter our emotional and behavioral responses. The core of CBT lies in the interconnectedness of thought, emotion, and behavior. When a person faces a stressful situation, their automatic thoughts may be negative or distorted, exacerbating anxiety and leading to counterproductive behavioral responses. CBT intervenes by teaching techniques to recognize these automatic thoughts, assess their accuracy, and replace dysfunctional cognitions with more rational and healthy alternatives. This book will guide you through the fundamental principles of CBT, elucidating how these strategies can be applied practically and effectively in your daily life. The approach includes methods such as identifying automatic thoughts, practicing Socratic questioning to challenge irrational beliefs, and using cognitive restructuring to promote a more balanced and realistic view of situations. The efficacy of CBT is extensively documented by scientific research, demonstrating its utility in treating a variety of conditions, including anxiety, depression, and stress-related disorders. Clinical studies reveal that consistent application of CBT techniques can result in significant reductions in symptoms and lasting improvements in mental and emotional health. Chapter 1. Understanding stress. What is stress? Stress is a physiological and psychological reaction that occurs when the body encounters situations that challenge its ability to adapt. This response is deeply rooted in our biology, designed to prepare us to face or escape imminent dangers. Known as the fight or flight response, this reaction involves the release of hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol, which increase heart rate, elevate blood pressure, and mobilize energy to deal with a perceived threat. While this response was crucial for the survival of our ancestors in wild environments, In the modern world, the triggers for stress are often not physical but psychological. Deadlines at work, interpersonal conflicts, family responsibilities, and financial worries are just a few examples of external sources that can provoke stress. Internally, our own thoughts and emotions can also trigger this reaction. Constant worries, negative thoughts, and anticipation of future events are common catalysts that keep the body in a prolonged state of alert. The impact of stress goes beyond mere sensations of discomfort or temporary anxiety. Studies show that chronic stress can lead to a range of health problems, including heart disease, hypertension, sleep disorders, and even compromised immune function. Psychologically, it can contribute to the development of anxiety disorders and depression, creating a vicious cycle that is difficult to break. The complexity of stress lies in its multifaceted nature. It does not manifest only in obvious ways, such as in high-pressure situations, but can also silently accumulate over time through small daily annoyances that drain our energy and resilience. Additionally, individual perception of what constitutes a threat can vary widely, making the experience of stress highly subjective. What is extremely stressful for one person may be just a minor inconvenience for another. Effects of stress on the body and mind. Stress, although a natural and often beneficial response of the human body to challenges, can have significant consequences when it becomes chronic. At the physical level, stress activates the sympathetic nervous system, resulting in the release of hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. This hormonal surge triggers various bodily reactions, including increased heart rate, elevated blood pressure, and constriction of blood vessels. These responses are designed to prepare the body for emergency situations, but when they persist for long periods, they can lead to serious health problems. The continuous increase in heart rate and elevated blood pressure impose excessive strain on the cardiovascular system, increasing the risk of heart disease, heart attacks, and strokes. Additionally, cortisol, known as the stress hormone, can affect metabolism, contributing to weight gain, especially in the abdominal region, which is associated with a higher risk of type 2 diabetes. Chronic stress can also weaken the immune system, making the body more susceptible to infections and slowing recovery from illnesses. On the psychological front, the effects of stress are equally profound. Anxiety is one of the most common emotional responses to prolonged stress. Persistent feelings of apprehension, fear, and worry can dominate the mind, impairing concentration and decision-making abilities. Continuous tension can also lead to irritability, mood swings, and an overwhelming sense of being unable to cope with the demands of daily life. Prolonged stress has a significant impact on mood and mental health. It can trigger or exacerbate conditions such as depression, anxiety disorders, and burnout. The constant feeling of being overwhelmed can lead to a state of emotional exhaustion, where motivation and energy are drastically reduced. This burnout can manifest in physical symptoms such as headaches, sleep disorders, and gastrointestinal problems, creating a vicious cycle that perpetuates the sense of malaise. Furthermore, stress can negatively influence behaviors, leading to unhealthy habits such as excessive alcohol consumption, smoking, poor diet, and physical inactivity. These behaviors not only exacerbate the negative effects of stress on the body and mind, but can also create new health problems, further complicating the overall picture of well-being. Identifying stress triggers. Identifying stress triggers is a crucial step in the journey toward a more balanced and serene life. This process begins with self-awareness and meticulous observation of situations that provoke stressful reactions. An effective method for this is keeping a stress journal, where you record specific events that generate tension, along with the thoughts and emotions that arise in response to these events. When documenting stressful situations, it's important to be detailed. Include information about the context, the people involved, what was happening at the moment, and how you felt. This level of detail allows you to identify recurring patterns and themes. For example, you may notice that certain tasks at work, interactions with certain people, or specific events like meetings or deadlines are often associated with increased stress levels. In addition to documenting external events, it is essential to pay attention to the automatic thoughts that accompany these situations. These thoughts are the immediate and subconscious responses that arise in our minds. Often, they are negative and irrational, amplifying the perception of threat and fueling the stress response. Common examples include thoughts like, "I will never get this done on time," or "everyone will see that I don't know what I'm doing." Writing down these thoughts helps bring them to consciousness, making them clear targets for cognitive restructuring. The stress journal is not just a recording tool, but also an instrument for reflection. Set aside regular time to review your notes. Ask yourself, What situations are most frequently associated with stress? What thoughts appear repeatedly? How does my body react in these situations? This reflective analysis provides valuable insights into specific triggers and automatic responses that need to be addressed. Scientific research strongly supports the use of journals for stress management. Studies show that expressive writing can help reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression and improve physical health by promoting greater self-awareness and emotional clarity. By documenting your experiences, you are essentially mapping the terrain of your mind, identifying the critical points that need intervention. In addition to the journal, consider other forms of monitoring, such as mood tracking apps or daily checklists. These technological tools can complement traditional journaling, offering reminders and automated analyses that help maintain a consistent and detailed record. Chapter 2: Fundamentals of CBT. Cognitive Behavioral Theory. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is a robust psychotherapeutic approach that is founded on the interconnection between thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. This triad shapes the human experience, influencing how we perceive and react to the world around us. The central premise of CBT is that by modifying our thoughts, we can effectively transform our emotions and actions, promoting lasting and positive changes in our lives. Our thoughts, often automatic and unconscious, have a profound impact on our emotions. For example, when facing a challenge at work, an automatic negative thought like, "I never get anything right," can generate feelings of anxiety and inadequacy. These feelings, in turn, can lead to counterproductive behaviors such as procrastination or avoiding the task altogether. CBT intervenes in this cycle by offering tools to identify and restructure these dysfunctional automatic thoughts, replacing them with more balanced and realistic cognitions. The interconnection between thoughts, feelings, and behaviors is explained through various theoretical and practical models within CBT. One of the most well-known is the ABC model, developed by Albert Ellis, which describes how an activating event leads to a belief B, which in turn results in a consequence C, whether emotional or behavioral. By intervening at point B, that is, the belief or thought, we can alter the emotional and behavioral consequence. The efficacy of CBT is extensively documented through rigorous scientific research. Studies demonstrate that this approach is highly effective in treating a variety of disorders, including depression, anxiety, obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Additionally, CBT is valued for its practical and results-oriented nature, providing patients with concrete skills that can be applied in daily life. An intriguing aspect of CBT is the use of specific techniques to modify thoughts and beliefs. Socratic dialogue, for example, involves questioning automatic thoughts in a logical and rational manner to challenge their validity. Questions like, "What is the evidence for and against this thought?" or "Am I interpreting this situation fairly?" help dismantle irrational beliefs and promote a more balanced perspective. Another crucial component of CBT is exposure, where individuals gradually face situations they avoid due to fear or anxiety in a controlled and safe environment. This helps disconfirm irrational beliefs and build confidence in the ability to face challenges. CBT also incorporates elements of mindfulness and acceptance in its interventions, recognizing that rather than trying to eliminate negative thoughts completely, it may be more helpful to learn to observe them without judgment and redirect the focus to the present. The relationship between thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The intricate connection between thoughts, feelings, and behaviors is one of the fundamental pillars of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. This link is key to understanding how our mind can so profoundly influence our emotional state and actions. By delving into this relationship, we discover that our thoughts are not mere passive reflections of reality, but active agents that shape our life experience. When facing a challenging situation, such as an important presentation at work, the thoughts that arise in our mind can dictate our emotional response. Imagine that, in this situation, the predominant thought is, "I will never impress my boss." This thought can generate a wave of anxiety, provoking physical sensations of discomfort such as a racing heart, sweating, and muscle tension. These feelings, in turn, can lead to behaviors like procrastination, avoiding necessary preparation, or even trying to escape the situation entirely. CBT proposes that by identifying and modifying these automatic and irrational thoughts, we can alter our emotional response and, consequently, our behavior. Instead of succumbing to the thought of inevitable failure, we could challenge this belief by asking, "What evidence do I have that I will fail? Or have there been previous occasions where I did well in similar situations?" This process of cognitive restructuring allows us to replace dysfunctional thoughts with more balanced and realistic ones, such as, I have skills and I prepared for this. I can do a good job. The impact of this cognitive shift is significant. By replacing a negative thought with a more positive or neutral view, the feelings of anxiety can diminish, allowing for more focused preparation and confident performance. In this way, our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors align more harmoniously, promoting well-being and effectiveness. Scientific research supports this interconnection, showing that cognitive interventions can reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. Neuroimaging studies demonstrate that the practice of CBT can lead to changes in brain activity, particularly in areas associated with emotional processing and mood regulation. These findings reinforce the idea that by modifying our thoughts, we are not only changing our immediate responses, but also influencing the underlying neural architecture that sustains these responses. The relationship between thoughts, emotions, and behaviors is not unidirectional. Our behaviors can also influence our feelings and thoughts. For example, by facing a feared situation instead of avoiding it, we can discover that it is not as threatening as we imagined, which challenges and modifies our thoughts and, by extension, reduces the associated anxiety. The cycle of stress and how to break it. The cycle of stress is a self-perpetuating sequence of negative thoughts, disturbing feelings, and counterproductive behaviors that can quickly become a debilitating pattern. This cycle often begins with an automatic negative thought, an irrational cognition that can arise in response to a challenging or perceived threatening situation. This thought triggers a cascade of negative emotions, such as anxiety, fear, or anger, which in turn influence behavior, resulting in actions that tend to reinforce the initial stress. To illustrate, imagine you have an important work meeting. The initial thought might be, I will do a terrible job at this presentation. This thought generates anxiety, leading to unpleasant physical sensations such as sweating and a racing heart. In response to these feelings, you might avoid practicing your presentation, resulting in a subpar performance that confirms the initial negative thought and feeds the cycle of stress. Breaking this cycle requires a strategic approach that involves both modifying thoughts and altering associated behaviors. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, offers several effective techniques for this purpose. The first step is to identify the automatic negative thoughts that initiate the cycle. This process requires mindfulness and self-reflection to recognize when an irrational thought is occurring. Once identified, the negative thought must be challenged. Socratic questioning is a powerful technique for this, involving questions like, what is the evidence for and against this thought? And am I seeing this situation objectively or am I exaggerating? This method helps dismantle irrational beliefs and replace them with more balanced and rational cognitions. In addition to cognitive restructuring, it is crucial to address the behaviors that perpetuate stress. This can include gradually facing feared situations instead of avoiding them, known as exposure. Exposure helps disconfirm negative beliefs and build confidence in facing challenges. For example, practicing the presentation multiple times before the meeting can not only improve performance, but also reduce anxiety associated with the event. Another effective strategy is the use of relaxation techniques such as deep breathing and progressive muscle relaxation, which help mitigate the physiological response to stress. By lowering the intensity of physical reactions, these techniques facilitate a calmer and more controlled emotional response, breaking the negative feedback cycle. Implementing these techniques requires practice and patience. Keeping a stress journal can be a useful tool, allowing you to record automatic thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, as well as the application of cognitive restructuring techniques and behavioral interventions. Regularly reviewing this journal provides valuable insights into recurring patterns and progress over time. Chapter 3. Cognitive Restructuring Technique. Identifying negative automatic thoughts. Automatic thoughts are those quick, subconscious responses that emerge in our minds when we encounter various everyday situations. These thoughts are often conditioned reflexes from past experiences and can occur so quickly that we don't even notice their presence. However, their influence is profound, shaping our emotions and behaviors in significant ways. For many, these automatic thoughts are often negative or irrational. They can arise as an internal critical voice, questioning our ability, worth, or chances of success. Recognizing these thoughts is the first essential step in managing and transforming them. Identifying negative automatic thoughts requires deliberate practice of self-awareness and mindfulness. It involves paying attention to moments when we feel a sudden change in our mood or stress level, and then tracing those feelings back to the thoughts that triggered them. For example, imagine you are about to enter an important meeting and suddenly feel a wave of anxiety. If you pause and reflect, you might realize that the anxiety was triggered by a thought like, "I will mess this up," or "they will think I am incompetent." These thoughts are often irrational and distorted, based on limiting beliefs rather than concrete evidence. Identifying them involves questioning their validity and logic. A useful technique is the thought record, where you write down the situation, the automatic thoughts that arise, the associated emotions and their intensity, the evidence that supports the automatic thought, the evidence that contradicts the thought, and finally, a more balanced and rational thought. This process helps externalize the thoughts, making them more visible and tangible, which facilitates analysis and questioning. The next step is to challenge these automatic thoughts. Ask yourself, what is the evidence for and against this thought? Or am I basing this thought on facts or on my own insecurities? Another helpful question is, what would I say to a friend who had this thought? These questions help dismantle the validity of the negative thoughts, revealing their flaws and promoting a more balanced perspective. Additionally, it is important to recognize common patterns of negative automatic thoughts. These can include catastrophizing, imagining the worst possible scenario, personalization, taking responsibility for events outside your control, polarized thinking, seeing things in black and white without a middle ground, and overgeneralization, drawing broad conclusions from a single event. Identifying these patterns can help predict and manage future negative thoughts. Challenging irrational thoughts. Challenging irrational thoughts is a central component of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, a technique that allows us to dismantle dysfunctional beliefs and replace them with more realistic and balanced thoughts. This process begins with the identification of negative automatic thoughts, but the true transformative power lies in questioning the validity of these thoughts. By challenging these thoughts, we can break cycles of negativity and foster a healthier and more resilient mindset. Imagine you are about to give an important presentation and an automatic thought arises. "I will make a terrible mistake and everyone will see that I am incompetent." This is a classic example of catastrophic thinking that needs to be challenged. The first step is to ask, what is the evidence for and against this thought? By doing this, you begin to assess the reality more objectively. To find evidence for, you might think of situations in the past where you made small mistakes. However, when seeking evidence against, you may recall numerous successful presentations, positive feedback from colleagues, and your thorough preparation for the current event. This balanced analysis helps dismantle the initial catastrophic belief. Another crucial aspect is determining whether the thought is based on facts or feelings. Often, irrational thoughts are fueled by intense emotions like fear or insecurity rather than concrete evidence. Ask yourself, am I interpreting the situation based on my feelings or on objective data? This distinction is vital because feelings, although valid, do not always reflect reality. To illustrate, consider a scenario where you believe everyone at work thinks you are unqualified. Feeling insecure can amplify this perception, but by challenging this thought, you may realize it does not hold up when confronted with facts. Ask, do I have any concrete feedback that supports this belief? Or has there been any specific event that truly suggests this? You will likely find that most interactions and feedback are positive or neutral, invalidating the negative belief. The method of cognitive restructuring can also be enriched with the use of Socratic questioning, a technique involving exploratory questions that promote critical reflection. Questions like, is there an alternative way to see this situation? Or how might someone I admire handle this? Help broaden the perspective, offering new ways to interpret stress-inducing events. Replacing negative thoughts. Replacing negative thoughts with more balanced and positive cognitions is an essential step in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, aimed at promoting a healthier and more realistic perspective of reality. After identifying and challenging negative thoughts, it is crucial not only to dismantle them, but also to fill them with alternatives that reflect a more just and constructive understanding of yourself and the situations you face. Let's consider a classic example of negative thinking. I never do anything right. This type of cognition is absolutist and disregards any nuance or context, leading to severe self-criticism and feelings of inadequacy. To replace this thought, it is necessary to create a statement that acknowledges mistakes without ignoring successes, promoting a more balanced and compassionate view. First, reframe the initial thought to something like, sometimes I make mistakes, but I also have many successes. This new cognition maintains the reality that mistakes happen, but counterbalances it with the recognition of achievements. This approach is scientifically validated by the balanced cognition theory, which suggests that realistic and balanced thoughts are more effective in reducing symptoms of depression and anxiety than mere unrealistic positivity. To deepen this practice, consider adding concrete evidence that supports the new thought. Reflect on your successes and think of specific situations where you achieved positive results. For example, last week I received praise for the report I delivered, or I effectively solved that complex problem in the project. This exercise not only strengthens the new thought but also reinforces self-confidence through tangible examples of competence and success. The practice of replacing negative thoughts can also be enriched with daily affirmations and personal mantras. Affirmations like, "I am capable of learning from my mistakes and continuously improving," or "I have skills and accomplishments that demonstrate my value," can be repeated regularly to reinforce a positive and balanced mindset. Studies show that repeating positive affirmations can reconfigure neural pathways, promoting a more resilient and self-compassionate mindset. In addition, visualizing scenarios of success can complement the replacement of thoughts. Imagine yourself facing a challenging situation and acting with confidence and effectiveness. This practice of visualization not only solidifies the new cognition, but also mentally prepares you for the practical application of the new beliefs in real situations. It is also important to keep a gratitude journal, where you record 3 things daily for which you are grateful or 3 successes you achieved. This habit helps train the mind to focus on positive aspects and daily successes, naturally balancing the tendency to dwell on mistakes and failures. Chapter 4: Active Coping Strategies. Breathing Technique. Deep breathing techniques are effective tools for moderating the physiological response to stress, promoting a state of calm and relaxation. One of the most accessible and powerful techniques is diaphragmatic breathing, also known as abdominal breathing. This method involves the conscious use of the diaphragm, the muscle located below the lungs, to facilitate more complete and deep breathing. To practice diaphragmatic breathing, start by finding a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen. This will help ensure that the breathing is happening in the right place. Inhale slowly through your nose, allowing the air to fill your lungs as you feel your abdomen expand. It is crucial that the chest remains relatively still, indicating that the breathing is correctly using the diaphragm. The inhalation should be deep and controlled, lasting about 4 seconds. After inhaling fully, hold the air for a brief moment, about 2 seconds, before beginning the exhalation. Exhale slowly through your mouth, allowing all the air to leave your lungs as you feel your abdomen contract. The exhalation should be longer than the inhalation, lasting approximately 6 seconds, which helps promote a state of relaxation by activating the body's parasympathetic response, responsible for rest and digestion. Regular practice of this technique can have profound effects on reducing stress and improving overall well-being. Studies show that diaphragmatic breathing can lower heart rate, reduce blood pressure, and improve blood oxygenation, contributing to a sense of calm and relaxation. Additionally, this technique has been associated with decreased cortisol levels, the body's stress hormone. The science behind diaphragmatic breathing is robust. When we practice deep and controlled breathing, we stimulate the vagus nerve, which plays a crucial role in regulating the parasympathetic nervous system. This nerve helps reduce the fight-or-flight response, promoting a state of tranquility and decreasing the production of stress hormones. To maximize the benefits, it is recommended to practice diaphragmatic breathing daily, even when not under immediate stress. Setting aside 5 to 10 minutes a day for this practice can build a solid foundation of respiratory control that can be easily accessed in moments of need. Additionally, integrating this technique into your daily routine can improve stress resilience, making you better able to face challenges with a calm and focused mind. Another useful variation is the 4-7-8 breathing technique, where you inhale counting to 4, hold your breath counting to 7, and exhale slowly counting to 8. This variation, developed by Dr. Andrew Weil, is particularly effective for inducing sleep and reducing anxiety. Socratic dialogue. Socratic dialogue is a powerful technique rooted in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, that involves the use of reflective and critical questions to examine and reframe negative and irrational thoughts. This method, inspired by the philosopher Socrates, seeks to promote self-exploration and self-understanding, helping to dismantle dysfunctional beliefs through a structured questioning process. When faced with a negative thought, such as "I am a failure," the first step is to apply the Socratic dialogue technique to challenge the truth and utility of that thought. Ask yourself, what would I say to a friend who is thinking this way? This type of questioning encourages an external perspective, distancing oneself from self-criticism and promoting a more compassionate and balanced view. You would probably say to a friend something like, "Everyone makes mistakes. This does not define who you are as a person." This shift in perspective can ease the emotional intensity associated with a negative thought. Another crucial question is, how does this thought help or hurt me? This line of inquiry allows you to assess the real impact of the thought on your life. For example, constantly believing that you are a failure can lead to feelings of demotivation and low self-esteem, negatively impacting your performance and well-being. By recognizing that this thought is harmful, you create space to consider more constructive alternatives. The effectiveness of Socratic dialogue is supported by research showing how cognitive restructuring can alter thought patterns and reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. The technique helps create critical distance between you and your thoughts, allowing for a more objective and less emotional evaluation. Questions like, what evidence supports and contradicts this thought? Or, am I interpreting this situation fairly? Help dismantle distorted cognitions. To illustrate, imagine you think, I always mess things up. Ask yourself, what is the concrete evidence for this thought? You will probably find some situations where you made mistakes, but also many where you succeeded. By honestly evaluating this evidence, you can conclude that the thought, "I always mess things up," is exaggerated and does not reflect reality. Another technique within Socratic dialogue is to consider the consequences of maintaining or abandoning the negative thought. Ask yourself, what would happen if I continue to believe this? And what might change if I stop believing this? This exercise can reveal how maintaining negative thoughts perpetuates self-sabotaging behavior cycles, and how adopting more balanced thoughts can pave the way for more positive and effective actions. Additionally, Socratic questioning encourages the search for alternative perspectives. Ask yourself, is there another way to see this situation? Or how might someone I admire handle this? This type of questioning broadens your view, allowing you to consider other possibilities and solutions you may not have initially perceived. Mental imagery techniques. Mental imagery techniques are powerful and scientifically proven tools that can transform negative thoughts into positive ones, promoting a more confident and resilient mindset. These techniques involve visualizing positive and successful scenarios, helping reduce anxiety and enhance emotional well-being in stressful situations. The practice of mental imagery begins with a relaxation process, where you place yourself in a calm and focused state. Choose a quiet environment free from distractions and adopt a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. Close your eyes and start with a few deep breaths, allowing your body and mind to relax. Once relaxed, begin to create a detailed mental image of a positive scenario. If you are preparing for a presentation, for example, visualize yourself entering the room with confidence, feeling calm and prepared. Imagine the audience responding positively, with smiles and nods of approval. Visualize yourself articulating your ideas clearly and confidently, noting every detail, from the tone of your voice to the facial expressions of the listeners. The key to the effectiveness of mental imagery is the richness of the details. The more vivid and realistic the visualization, the more impact it will have on your subconscious mind. Include all senses in your visualization. See the colors and shapes, hear the sounds, feel the textures, and even smell the associated scents. This complete sensory approach helps solidify the positive image, making it more potent. The science behind mental imagery techniques is robust. Studies in neuroscience demonstrate that visualizing positive scenarios can activate the same brain areas that would be activated if the experience were actually occurring. This means that by practicing mental imagery, you are training your brain to respond to real situations more positively and controlled. Regular visualization practice has been associated with improvements in performance across various fields, from sports to public speaking and problem solving. In addition to preparing the brain for success, mental imagery also helps reduce anxiety by replacing negative thoughts with positive ones. When we visualize positive scenarios, we are essentially reprogramming our minds to focus on possibilities of success rather than potential failures. This not only diminishes the stress response, but also strengthens confidence and self-confidence. To maximize the benefits, practice mental imagery regularly. Dedicate a few minutes each day to visualize your success scenarios, especially before facing situations that typically generate anxiety. This continuous practice helps build a solid foundation of confidence and resilience, which can be accessed whenever necessary. Another useful variation is the technique of mental rehearsals, where you visualize not only the final success but also each step necessary to achieve it. For example, if you're preparing for a sports competition, visualize yourself performing each movement with precision, dealing with unforeseen challenges effectively, and maintaining calm under pressure. This type of visualization prepares the mind to face and overcome challenges, increasing the likelihood of success in real life. Chapter 5. Developing Resilience Skills. Building resilience. Building resilience is essential for facing life's adversities with strength and adaptability. Resilience is not an innate characteristic, but a skill that can be developed and strengthened over time. To cultivate this capacity, it is crucial to practice self-compassion, maintain a positive perspective, and seek support whenever necessary. Self-compassion is a crucial component of building resilience. It involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend in difficulty. Instead of harshly criticizing yourself for mistakes or failures, practice self-acceptance, recognizing that imperfection is part of the human experience. Research indicates that self-compassion can reduce anxiety and depression and promote greater emotional well-being. Practicing self-compassion can be as simple as taking a moment each day to reflect positively on yourself, reciting supportive affirmations, or writing a letter to yourself in times of stress. Maintaining a positive perspective is also vital. This does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is fine, but adopting an approach that acknowledges difficulties while focusing on the possibilities for growth and learning. Studies show that resilient people tend to reinterpret negative events more positively, seeing them as opportunities for development. To cultivate this perspective, practice daily gratitude by noting things you are grateful for, no matter how small. This helps reorient your mind towards the positive aspects of life, strengthening your ability to face adversities with optimism. Seeking support is another fundamental strategy in building resilience. Having a solid support network composed of friends, family, or colleagues provides an emotional support system that can offer comfort and advice in difficult times. Social connection not only alleviates emotional burden, but also offers different perspectives and solutions to problems. Participating in support groups or community activities can strengthen these bonds, creating an environment of mutual support. Regular practice of mindfulness and meditation can also significantly contribute to resilience. These practices help cultivate full awareness of the present moment, reducing reactivity to stress and promoting a more balanced mental state. Studies indicate that regular meditation can increase activity in brain areas associated with emotional regulation and adaptive processing of negative emotions, strengthening the ability to recover from adversities. Another effective technique is setting realistic goals and practicing problem-solving skills. Setting achievable goals and creating specific action plans to achieve them can provide a sense of purpose and direction, even in times of crisis. This involves breaking down complex problems into smaller, manageable parts and addressing each systematically. This method not only makes challenges more manageable, but also increases confidence in your ability to overcome them. Finally, taking care of physical health is fundamental for resilience. Regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and adequate sleep are pillars that support mental and emotional health. Exercise, in particular, has been associated with the release of endorphins, hormones that improve mood and reduce stress. Problem-solving techniques. Addressing problems systematically is a fundamental skill that can transform challenging situations into opportunities for growth and learning. Problem-solving techniques involve a structured process that helps break down complex issues into manageable steps, allowing for a more efficient and effective approach. This method not only improves mental clarity, but also increases confidence in the ability to handle obstacles. The first step is to clearly identify the problem. This may seem obvious, but often problems are vague or poorly defined, making it difficult to find effective solutions. Take time to analyze the situation and formulate a precise description of the problem. Ask yourself, what is the true nature of the problem? And what are the main factors contributing to this situation? This step is crucial because a clear definition of the problem is the foundation for the entire subsequent process. Once the problem is well defined, the next step is to generate possible solutions. Here, creativity and divergent thinking are essential. Brainstorm all possible solutions without initially worrying about feasibility. The goal is to explore a wide range of options, allowing innovative ideas to emerge. During this phase, it is useful to involve others, if possible, to gain different perspectives and insights. Tools like mind maps or cause and effect diagrams can help visualize solutions and their implications. After generating a list of potential solutions, it is time to evaluate each option. Consider the pros and cons of each solution, as well as the necessary resources and potential consequences. Ask yourself, what are the benefits of each solution, and what are the risks and costs associated? This critical analysis allows for the selection of the most suitable solution based on objective criteria. Analysis methods such as the SWOT matrix, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, can be particularly useful at this stage. With a selected solution, the next step is to implement the chosen strategy. This involves creating a detailed action plan outlining the steps necessary to put the solution into practice. Set clear goals and deadlines for each stage of the plan, ensuring that all necessary resources and support are available. Implementation should be closely monitored to ensure that the plan is being executed as planned. Maintaining open communication with everyone involved is essential to address any challenges that may arise during this phase. Finally, after implementing the solution, review its effectiveness. Evaluate the results against the initially defined objectives. Ask yourself, did the solution resolve the problem as expected? And what were the unexpected results, positive or negative? This review step is crucial for learning from the experience and adjusting future approaches. If the solution was not effective, reevaluate the other options generated earlier and consider a new action plan. Social support and effective communication. Cultivating a solid social support network and practicing effective communication skills are fundamental components for mental and emotional health. Social support acts as a buffer against stress, providing a sense of belonging and security, while effective communication allows you to express your needs and feelings clearly and constructively, strengthening interpersonal relationships. Having a robust social support network means surrounding yourself with people who offer emotional support, practical advice, and companionship. This network can include family members, friends, colleagues, mentors, and community members. The quality of interactions is more important than quantity. It is essential that these relationships are genuine and based on mutual trust. Research shows that individuals with strong social networks tend to have lower levels of depression and anxiety and a greater sense of overall well-being. To develop and maintain these connections, dedicate time and effort to building meaningful relationships. This may involve keeping regular contact with friends and family, participating in community activities or interest groups, and being available for others when they need you. Simple acts like sending a supportive message or inviting someone for a conversation can strengthen these bonds. In addition to cultivating a support network, it is vital to practice effective communication skills. Active listening is an essential skill that involves being fully present during conversations, demonstrating genuine interest in what the other person is saying. This means avoiding interruptions, asking clarifying questions, and reflecting on what was said to show understanding. Active listening not only strengthens relationships, but also improves conflict resolution and promotes deeper understanding between parties. Expressing needs and feelings clearly and assertively is equally important. Often, people have difficulty communicating their desires or emotions, leading to misunderstandings and resentments. Learning to communicate assertively involves expressing your needs in a direct and respectful manner without aggression. Use I statements instead of you to avoid accusations, for example. I feel that I am not being heard, instead of you never listen to me. Nonverbal communication also plays a crucial role. Body language, eye contact, and tone of voice can reinforce or contradict what is being said verbally. Maintaining an open posture, making appropriate eye contact, and using a calm and friendly tone of voice help convey sincerity and empathy. Practicing these skills can be challenging, especially if you are not used to expressing yourself openly and assertively. Participating in communication workshops, reading books on the subject, or even seeking guidance from a coach or therapist can be helpful in improving these skills. Studies indicate that improving communication skills can lead to more satisfying relationships and greater emotional resilience as people feel more understood and supported. Chapter 6. Personalized Action Plan. Creating your action plan. Developing a personalized plan for managing stress is a strategic approach that can transform the way you handle daily challenges. This plan involves identifying stress triggers, setting realistic goals, and choosing coping techniques that best suit your individual needs. By creating an action plan, you not only prepare yourself to handle stressful situations, but also promote overall well-being and resilience. The first step to creating an effective action plan is to identify the specific triggers that cause stress in your life. These triggers can vary widely, from work demands and relationship issues to financial worries or health concerns. To map these triggers, keep a stress journal where you note situations that generate tension the thoughts and feelings associated with them, and the physical reactions you experience. This process of self-awareness is crucial for recognizing patterns and understanding the roots of your stress. After identifying the triggers, the next step is to set realistic and achievable goals for managing these situations. Defining clear goals provides a sense of direction and purpose, facilitating the development of specific strategies. For example, if you identify that tight deadlines at work are a significant source of stress, a realistic goal might be to improve your time management skills or negotiate more flexible deadlines with your supervisor. With goals defined, choosing effective coping techniques is crucial. There are various evidence-based strategies that can be incorporated into your action plan. Relaxation techniques such as deep breathing and meditation help calm the physiological response to stress, promoting a state of relaxation. Regular physical exercise is also highly recommended, as physical activity releases endorphins, feel-good hormones that naturally combat stress. Another valuable technique is cognitive restructuring, a central component of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. This involves challenging and modifying negative and irrational thoughts that contribute to stress, replacing them with more balanced and rational cognitions. For example, instead of thinking, "I never do anything right," you might reframe it to, "I make mistakes, but I also have many achievements." Organization and task prioritization also play a crucial role in stress management. Develop a daily or weekly planning system that helps break larger tasks into smaller, manageable steps, prioritizing those that are most urgent and important. Tools like to-do lists, calendars, and time management apps can be extremely useful in this process. Additionally, it is essential to incorporate self-care moments into your action plan. Set aside time for activities you enjoy and that promote relaxation, such as reading a book, listening to music, spending time with friends and family, or practicing a hobby. Regular self-care helps recharge your energy and maintain emotional balance. Seeking social support is also an effective strategy. Sharing your concerns with friends, family, or a therapist can provide new perspectives and solutions to problems, as well as offer emotional comfort. Support groups or community activities can provide a sense of belonging and connection, which are fundamental to emotional well-being. Finally, continuous review and adjustment of your action plan are essential for ensuring its long-term effectiveness. Regularly reevaluate your goals and strategies, adjusting them as necessary to reflect changes in your life and sources of stress. Flexibility and willingness to adapt your plan ensure it remains relevant and effective. Monitoring and evaluating progress. Monitoring and evaluating the progress of your stress management strategies is crucial to ensure they are effective and to allow for adjustments as needed. Tools such as journals and checklists are extremely useful for this purpose, providing a structured way to track your activities, identify patterns, and measure results over time. Keeping a stress journal is a highly recommended practice. In it, you can record your daily experiences, noting specific situations that cause stress, your emotional and physical reactions, and the strategies you use to cope with these situations. This detailed record allows for a deep analysis of your responses to stress, helping to identify which techniques are most effective in different contexts. For example, you might notice that diaphragmatic breathing is particularly helpful in moments of high tension at work, while physical exercise helps alleviate accumulated stress throughout the day. In addition to the journal, using checklists can simplify the monitoring of your goals and daily activities. A daily or weekly checklist can include items such as practice deep breathing, exercise for 30 minutes, meditate for 10 minutes, and write in the stress journal. Checking off these activities as they are completed not only provides a sense of accomplishment, but also makes it easier to visualize your commitment to coping strategies. Over time, these lists help identify behavior patterns and understand which practices are most sustainable and beneficial for your routine. Regular evaluation is a critical component of this process. Set aside time, weekly or monthly, to review your notes and checklists. Ask yourself which strategies are working well and which areas need adjustment or improvement. This periodic reflection allows for fine-tuning of your action plan. For example, if you notice that meditation is providing less benefit than expected, it might be time to try a different technique, such as mindfulness practice or yoga. The science behind regular monitoring and continuous evaluation is robust. Studies in psychology and time management show that systematic tracking of activities and reflection on results can significantly improve performance and well-being. This practice increases self-awareness, allowing you to respond more proactively to changes and challenges instead of reacting impulsively. To make monitoring and evaluation more effective, Consider using technology. Stress management apps, such as digital journals and checklist tools, can offer additional reminders and insights. Some apps even analyze patterns in your records, providing detailed feedback on your progress and suggesting adjustments based on your personal data. Integrating technology facilitates continuous tracking and provides an efficient way to manage your coping practices. Another important aspect is feedback from others. Sharing your action plan and progress with trusted friend, mentor, or therapist can provide valuable perspectives and additional motivation. These individuals can offer suggestions based on their own experiences and help identify blind spots that you might not notice. Chapter 7. Case Studies and Practical Examples. Case Studies. Case studies are a powerful way to illustrate how cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can effectively help people manage stress. By analyzing real-life examples, we can gain inspiration and learn practical strategies that can be applied in our own lives. Let's explore 3 case studies that demonstrate how CBT transformed the way individuals handle stress. Case Study 1. Alice, the stressed executive. Alice is a 35-year-old executive working in a fast-paced technology company. Constantly overwhelmed with tight deadlines and a massive workload, she began to experience high levels of stress, leading to insomnia and panic attacks. Seeking help, Alice started CBT with a specialized therapist. First, Alice learned to identify her negative automatic thoughts, such as, "I will never meet all these deadlines," and "if I fail, everyone will think I am incompetent." Through Socratic questioning, she began to challenge the validity of these thoughts, asking herself, "What evidence do I have that I never meet deadlines? And what really happens when I make a mistake?" She discovered that, in reality, she often met her deadlines and that occasional mistakes were normal and did not signify incompetence. With this cognitive restructuring, Alice began to replace her negative thoughts with more balanced ones, such as, "I usually meet my deadlines, and it is normal to make mistakes occasionally." Additionally, she incorporated deep breathing techniques to manage immediate anxiety and established a plan to manage her workload more effectively, prioritizing tasks and delegating when possible. Case Study 2. John, the university student. John is a 22-year-old university student facing extreme stress due to academic pressures and the need to balance studies and work. He often thought, "If I don't get perfect grades, I will never succeed." This thought led to feelings of inadequacy and constant anxiety. CBT helped John identify and challenge these irrational thoughts. With the help of his therapist, he began to see that his worth and potential for success were not determined solely by his grades. Questions like, "What evidence do I have that only perfect grades lead to success?" and "Do I know successful people who didn't have perfect grades?" helped dismantle this belief. John then learned to replace these thoughts with more realistic affirmations, such as, "I can succeed in many ways and learn from my experiences." He also implemented mental imagery techniques, visualizing himself facing academic challenges with confidence and seeing his efforts as valuable, regardless of the final outcome. Case Study 3. Mary, the new mother. Mary, a 28-year-old new mother, was struggling with the stress of balancing baby care and the expectations of returning to work. She often felt overwhelmed and thought, "I will never be good enough at being a mother and a professional." These thoughts increased her anxiety and lowered her self-esteem. During CBT, Mary learned to identify these automatic thoughts and use cognitive restructuring techniques to challenge them. She asked herself, "What defines being a good mother and professional? And am I being fair to myself by thinking this way?" Reflecting on these questions, she realized she was imposing unrealistic expectations on herself. With a therapist's help, Mary began to adopt a more compassionate approach, replacing negative thoughts with affirmations like, "I am doing my best, and that is enough, and it is possible to balance my responsibilities in a way that works for me and my family." She also started practicing self-compassion and seeking social support from other mothers and colleagues, strengthening her support network. Practical exercises. Applying the techniques learned through practical exercises is essential for transforming theories into concrete habits that promote well-being and resilience. Below, I present a series of activities and exercises that will help integrate the concepts of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and stress management techniques into your daily life. Thought record. Maintaining a thought record is a powerful practice for identifying and restructuring negative thoughts. Daily, dedicate a few minutes to reflect on situations that generated stress or negative emotions. Use a format that includes a description of the event that triggered the emotional response, the automatic thought that arose in your mind, the emotions you felt and their intensity, the evidence supporting the automatic thought, the evidence contradicting the thought, and finally, a more balanced and rational thought. Evaluate how the alternative thought affected your emotions and behavior. Checklist for daily activities. In addition to the journal, using checklists can simplify tracking your goals and daily activities. A daily or weekly checklist can include items such as practice deep breathing, exercise for 30 minutes, meditate for 10 minutes, and write in the stress journal. Checking off these activities as they are completed not only provides a sense of accomplishment, but also makes it easier to visualize your commitment to coping strategies. Deep breathing techniques. The practice of deep breathing techniques can be easily incorporated into your daily routine. Sit or lie down comfortably and place one hand on your abdomen and the other on your chest. Inhale deeply through your nose, allowing your abdomen to expand while your chest remains relatively still. Hold a breath for 2 seconds and exhale slowly through your mouth, feeling your abdomen contract. Repeat this cycle for 5 to 10 minutes, focusing on your breath and letting go of intrusive thoughts. Practice this technique twice a day or whenever you feel stress increasing to help reduce anxiety and promote a state of calm. Creating a personalized action plan. Developing a personalized action plan for managing stress involves identifying your specific triggers, setting clear goals, and choosing effective coping techniques. List situations or thoughts that commonly cause stress and establish specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals to address these triggers. Select strategies you have learned, such as deep breathing, cognitive restructuring, mindfulness practice, or physical exercise. Create a daily or weekly schedule to integrate these techniques into your routine, including moments of self-care and regular breaks. Use journals and checklists to track your progress and regularly reevaluate your goals and strategies, adjusting as necessary. Positive visualization. Positive visualization can reinforce confidence and reduce anxiety in challenging situations. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, and imagine yourself in a situation that usually causes stress, but visualize a positive outcome. Focus on all the details: the environment, the people around, your actions, and feelings of success and calm. Repeat this visualization daily, especially before facing the real situation. Self-compassion exercises. Self-compassion is essential for building resilience. Think of a recent situation where you felt disappointed in yourself and write a letter to yourself as if you were a dear friend, using words of understanding and support. Emphasize that making mistakes is human and that you deserve the same compassion you would offer others. Reread this letter whenever you feel self-critical or discouraged. Structured problem-solving checklist. To solve problems effectively, use a structured checklist. Define the problem clearly and specifically, brainstorm all possible solutions, analyze the pros and cons of each solution, select the most viable option, create a detailed action plan, and evaluate the results, adjusting as necessary. These practical exercises provide a framework for applying the techniques learned in CBT and stress management. With regular practice, you can transform these activities into daily habits that promote a more balanced, healthy, and resilient life. Conclusion. Summary of key points. Throughout this book, we have explored a variety of techniques and strategies based on cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, to help manage stress and promote a more balanced and healthy life. Recapping the main learnings reinforces the importance of each step in the process of personal transformation. One of the fundamental points is identifying and modifying negative thoughts. Learning to recognize automatic and irrational thoughts is the crucial first step in altering how we react to stress. We use techniques such as thought records and Socratic dialogue to challenge and restructure these thoughts, replacing them with more balanced and rational cognitions. This practice not only reduces anxiety, but also promotes a more positive and realistic perspective on our abilities and situations. Developing resilience is another essential aspect addressed. Resilience, or the ability to recover from adversity, can be cultivated through self-compassion, maintaining a positive perspective, and seeking social support. By treating yourself kindly, viewing challenges as opportunities for growth, and relying on a support network, you become more prepared to face life's ups and downs. Applying practical coping strategies was also widely discussed. Techniques such as diaphragmatic breathing, positive visualization, and creating personalized action plans are powerful tools for effectively managing stress. Practicing deep breathing and visualization regularly helps calm the mind and body, while detailed action plans provide a structured approach to tackling specific challenges. Additionally, we emphasize the importance of continuous monitoring and evaluation of progress. Using tools such as journals and checklists allows you to track your practices and results, making adjustments as necessary to improve the effectiveness of your coping strategies. This continuous reflection is crucial to ensure that the techniques adopted remain beneficial and adaptable to your constantly changing needs. Finally, building a social support network and practicing effective communication skills are fundamental for emotional well-being. Cultivating meaningful relationships and learning to express needs and feelings clearly and assertively strengthens your ability to handle stress and promotes a sense of belonging and mutual support. Final thoughts. You have already taken a crucial step by dedicating yourself to understanding and applying these strategies. Recognizing negative thoughts and replacing them with healthier alternatives, practicing breathing techniques, and creating personalized action plans are not just exercises but powerful tools for transforming your life. Each day you practice these techniques, you are strengthening and better preparing yourself to face the challenges life presents. The journey towards well-being is continuous, and each effort you make has a significant impact. Science shows us that the brain can adapt and change, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. This means that each practice, each deep breath, each restructured positive thought is literally shaping your brain to respond to stress more effectively and calmly. Over time, these practices will become a natural part of who you are, helping you maintain calm and clarity even in the most challenging situations. Do not underestimate the power of small changes. Celebrating each small victory, such as handling a stressful situation better or managing to stay calm in a moment of tension, is essential. These small achievements add up, creating a cumulative effect that reinforces your confidence and determination. Remember, progress does not need to be perfect to be significant. Every step forward is a step in the right direction. Engage with your support network. Sharing your experiences and progress with friends, family, or support groups can offer new perspectives and increase your motivation. Mutual support is an invaluable source of strength. When you feel understood and supported, you face challenges with much more courage and resilience. You are in control of your journey. Keep practicing the techniques you have learned, adjusting them as necessary, and exploring new strategies that may be helpful. Each day, you are building a stronger foundation for emotional and mental well-being. Be patient with yourself and celebrate each progress, no matter how small. Remember that resilience is not just the ability to recover, but also the ability to grow from difficulties. Each challenge you overcome is proof of your inner strength. Believe in your potential to change and grow. With dedication and continuous practice, you can achieve a state of emotional balance that will allow you to face life's challenges with confidence and serenity. The journey to a balanced life is one of the most important you can undertake. Keep moving forward, keep growing, and above all, keep believing in your capacity for change. The future is full of possibilities, and each day is a new opportunity to live more fully and balanced. You have everything you need within yourself to achieve a life of calm and resilience. Go forward with confidence and determination. The best is yet to come.